Welcome to Built Different Podcast, the DPT edition. My name is Aaron Kennedy,
My name is Keith Perry.
and we're here to strike up another conversation. I'm glad to be here. It's been a long week, going
Man,
through
bro,
exams, two exams again, same week. It's tough out here. It
it's
really
been
is.
seriously though, like double exams almost took me out. So, woo. I need a couple of days rest after that for real. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. Just like our previous episodes, we are going to start off with a couple of questions first, and then we're going to roll into just our regular content. So, Takivas, hit us with some questions.
I got us. I got us. Don't worry. Okay, so the first question that I'm going to ask is from about like our clinical experience. We haven't been to clinicals yet. We're coming up on that, and we're just now getting our placements and things of that nature. So some of them we couldn't answer, but the ones that we can is the ones I'm going to answer. So the first question is, how are clinical rotations arranged, and do you feel like they're preparing you well for the field? Okay. I'll go ahead and answer. Um, Clinical arrangements are done through the school. Like we have a clinical director, so to speak. So she does like all the placements for us. But before she does any of that, we kind of get a wish list. And a wish list is like places that we would like to go, like that are near our homes and things of that nature, like where we live. So it allows us to kind of get give them some feedback about where we want to go, you know. And if they can't do that, they'll try to do as best they can to get you within that same area or closest to your wish list as possible. And yes, I do feel like they're preparing us really well. Um, Anything I've asked like my DPT friends that are already practicing, they've been able to explain it to me, and I've been able to refer back to it somewhere along the lines within our studies. So definitely feel like they've been doing a great job with that, and I am excited for clinicals for sure, especially after last week when we got to order our white coats. So that was
Yeah.
super exciting, super exciting.
If I, if I could get an express shipping, I would.
Man, man, bro, super excited about that. But
I'm
what about you, Aaron? What do you think about that question? Sorry.
I also think that we are prepared pretty well for our clinical rotations. I know for my first placement, I'll be in the acute care setting, and we are learning a whole lot of cardiopulmonary right now, and it just really emphasizes like the type of information that I'm going to have to readily have just in the back of my mind when I'm dealing with some of the patients that I'll be seeing. So just with the coursework, I feel like we are being actively prepared. So I'm looking forward to going into lab. And again, that's our lab immersions is when we get our more hands on and really just having the opportunity to apply those skills and information just like real time. So yeah, I think we are very prepared. Every time we come back from lab, we're just a whole nother
Right.
different type. Yeah, we're just a whole different type of
Yeah.
student come back. So
Right. After each lab, I feel like I'm a little more prepared. Like literally, I'm like, all right, I'm way more confident about the skill set that I have after each lab, just because I got to practice. So, and that's the biggest thing is just making sure you're practicing, like on your friends and family members and things of that nature, all within safe measures, of course. And gotta make sure you say that because you don't want to just be doing stuff on people. So make sure you thoroughly know what you're doing before you do any of the things that you're practicing in school for sure.
yeah, friends and family, they are the perfect people who are going to tell you right then and there if you're
Right.
applying too much pressure or, you're not necessarily like giving them the type of relief if they were like asking you for, I don't know, something. My ankle is not feeling that
Yeah.
well, or I have some muscle tightness like here and there. You're not
Right.
really delivering the type of therapy that you learn to deliver. So great feedback tools,
Yeah.
but definitely, take time.
For sure. Just to piggyback off what he's saying, like your friends and family are the biggest, uh, are the main people you should be focusing on just because they're unbiased. They have no idea what you're doing to them. They just know that they told you the problem and they want to see what you're going to do about it, if you're able to fix it or not. They're not like students, like when we practice on each other, we know like, you're not touching it or like that muscle or whatever the case may be. So just making sure you practice on people who are unbiased is really important, just so you can know, exactly what you're doing. I think that's really good, really good. Okay. The next question I got for us, how did you make the final decision to pursue PT over other healthcare fields like OT, PA, or nursing? Okay. I'll let you answer this one first since I already had it last. So,
I always stuck with the very good questions first. Um, I I will be honest, I didn't know too much information about OT when I was back in undergrad. I only really so much knew about physical therapy, but my
Mhm.
undergrad was way before I actually like applied to the school. So for graduate school, so I was able to get that exposure to occupational therapists. But just really always had a close connection just to physical therapy. Once I found that as my path, I was like, I'm not trying to jump here or there, with it. Um, nursing. Shout out to the nurses. My wife is a nurse. I love y'all. I love her. But that's just not for me. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not the nurse guy.
Yeah,
Um, and for just any other type of career in healthcare, I just really feel like physical therapy is just what I am about. Um, just the ability to give relief to individuals just using my hands sometimes. That that's a beautiful thing. Or the actual therapy part where we are sitting there talking, we're able to speak on just different type of ailments and suggest things that you can do at home to help out with with those. So I I feel like physical therapy kind of gets like the best of a lot of different type of healthcare uh, jobs just into one. So that's where I'm at.
yeah, okay. I agree with that. I feel like it was an easy choice for me. I did think about PA and nursing at one point, but like I said, nursing was out of the question for me because I had to choose between football and nursing, and football was paying for school, so nursing was out the door. And then when I was choosing between PA and PTA, it was a big thing because I didn't really want to work in something that was like black and white. I like to do the critical thinking and things of that nature. It just allows you to uh, actually use your mind, and detail the care plans for the patient to give them more feedback and make it a more of a personable experience for them to get them back to, their everyday life within safe measures, of course. And then, yeah, I get to work with a wide realm of people. So I really love geriatrics, and then I also really love sports, being a former athlete. So you get to work with both areas. Like you can do sports throughout the week, and then you can go work at an inpatient and work with geriatrics on the weekend if you'd like to. So not really many fields you get to do all that have all that flexibility. So I really love that, and then the critical thinking for sure, like I said. So it was an easy pick for me. Easy pick.
I really think the flexibility of physical therapy is just amazing. Every time I learn more and more I can do, I'm like this field is so expansive. Like you cannot get bored
Right.
in physical therapy unless like you want to go like just outpatient setting, and that's where I'm like trying to be at. I'm just trying to be in an outpatient setting, which is nothing wrong with that because the same person can be like, I just want to be in acute care. Like
Right.
it's the same thing. But I'm like, I want to go as many places as possible and learn. I know we talked about TMJ one episode. I'm gonna get better at doing TMJ stuff, but I want to learn dry needling. I want to be able to, work with a sports team, whether it's on a professional level or whether it's with another college athletic team, or even just working with children pediatrics as well and geriatrics. Um,
Mhm.
Even people who are paraplegic, like just working with people who uses orthotics, like there's
Mhm.
just so stroke patients, like the list goes on and on and on. So
Right,
I really enjoy the flexibility of this. Absolutely.
for sure. I'm with you on that. It's there's nothing you really can't do, so I'm with it, 100%. What were Well, today the episode was mainly going to be on balancing things, right, Aaron? So
Yes.
I want to kind of dive into that a little bit. Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah. So when I think about balancing just life and balancing um, the PT program, it comes with a whole lot of sacrifices just off rip.
Oh,
There are moments where I have to either tell myself no, I cannot do something, or I have to tell other people no, I cannot do anything, and really be attuned to asserting boundaries.
uh-huh.
And I don't think anything has really challenged me to this degree, uh, getting this degree, than making sure that I tune my boundaries right. We just are coming from a week where we had two exams. You can only imagine everything that I could possibly do during a week where we have two major exams going on. I, I won't be able to go out, hang out with friends. I won't be able to, even go out like too much with my own wife. Like I have to be at studying at home or just in my study area. It
Right.
just comes with a lot of sacrifices. What about you when it comes to boundaries, maybe things that you have to say no to?
Yeah, sure. Like you're just saying, there's a lot of stuff you have to say no to. You got to be able to develop that skill of saying no um, to things. Like you say, I don't have a wife yet, but telling her no, that's big. You can't go out with your friends, all kinds of things like you want to go shopping or you want to go, of course, take time for yourself to do things that bring you peace and clear your mind, but the extracurricular activities, you kind of got to limit those and kind of prioritize what's important during that period of time, of course. So that's what I would say for that. Developing the word no, for somebody who's developing that when for somebody who always likes to say yes, it's tough to do because I like to say yes a lot. But when you have that and that's your priority, that's your main focus and your goal, you have to be able to say no just to make sure you take care of your business first.
Yeah, I I'm a bodybuilder myself, and I wanted to do a competition,
Yeah.
while we're in school, and I just had to tell my coach, like, it ain't happening this, like, it ain't happening this year, and it was a little disappointing on my end, but even my coach, like, said it's school first, like, you have to focus on what is like a priority.
Right.
Now, I like that you use the word limited instead of like a complete. Like, okay, I cannot see my friends. I
Yeah, yeah.
cannot do. It's limited. I'm not gonna sit here and act like that. I, don't enjoy life still. Like, there's still moments where I can still hang out with my wife or hang out with my friends or just find moments where I can be at peace and not school, 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 school all the time. And if anything, you want to make sure that you have a good balance. You don't want to always be in the stress of school.
Yeah.
So, Dakiwas, are there any like non-negotiables when it comes to your self-care or just in life in general while you're balancing school?
Yeah. Something that's non-negotiable is not exercising. Exercise is like my number one therapy between that and talking to God, of course. Between those, it's like I just have to have it. Also, I would say throw in there, I would say family and friends, just being able to have a conversation. Sometimes it may not look like you're being able to see them all the time, but just having them to talk to and having somebody to support you is huge for me. And those are my non-negotiables. I gotta have those. Everything else I can do without. So
This is a focused guy right here. Let me tell you.
go ahead.
This man, he's teaching me how to.
That's,
He created the phrase "lock in."
that is great, man.
That's what I know at least.
I don't know about all that. What about you? You got some non-negotiables?
Oh man, exercising is definitely a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I've heard like some people while they're in the DPT programs, they'll say like going to exercise, sometimes they start feeling guilty that they are not studying. Let me tell you, audience members who are listening to this, me, Aaron Kennedy, will
Yeah.
never feel guilty exercising. I will never feel that way. I may sometimes have to cut my workout shorter, and that hurts. But
Right.
I'm still gonna be there.
I said that hurt. That hurt.
But I do try to. We have like certain days, like Sunday, for instance, in my household, we go to church, and we take some time to just spend some meaningful time with each other, just so we can kind of just like regroup, just as a family unit. My wife, she's already been there, done that when it came to graduate school, so it's great to be with someone who understands that type of grind and that type of dedication that's required. So she really makes it easier for me to go through this because of
Yeah.
her understanding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, y'all goals. Goals, man. You know?
No.
Hey,
No.
I gotta give it to you.
One day I'll get her on the podcast. Y'all
Yeah.
need to. If I'm telling y'all listen to me. Y'all need to listen to my wife. If y'all have a wife, y'all need to listen to your wife too.
No, this is all topic, but a lot of my older patients, truly, whenever they're married for like, 20 plus years, I always ask them like, what's the main thing that they would say like to somebody who's wanting to be married, and what's like a key thing, right, to listen to? They always are like, listen to your wife, right? Say yes. They always like say yes. So he got a point there. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but he's got something he's saying right there. Listen to him.
Listeners, you better listen up. You don't take nothing from today.
Right. Absolutely.
But I do know the key is we have our non-negotiables. We have things that help us kind of navigate the daily stress and keep the balance of life. But I don't know about you, but I have experienced burnout in this program. I have felt moments where I just have nothing in the tank at that
Yeah.
given time. How do you navigate something that feeling like that?
That right there, I try to push through whatever is the most upcoming thing. Once I make it to the most upcoming thing, I'll try to take a day for myself. Like I'll do something that I love to do, whether it's bowling, I'll spend maybe I'll get like extended workout in. I'll get to go see my family. Maybe I just sit at home and kind of just plan out what's going to happen for the rest of the week after that. Organization helps me sometimes. So being able to plan things out, it kind of lowers my stress. So those right there really help me when I am in that little pickle, I guess. So so that's what I do. That's what I do. What about you? What do you do whenever you feel like everything's coming down on you like that?
The key is I lay on the ground with my arms out and just let the time pass.
Oh man.
No, I definitely try to. just take a beat for a second, and find a way to just slowly get back to the work. Whether that
Yeah,
is like, hey, I just need to take this day off, like in a sense, just like I'm too overstimulated by the work. I'm too
right.
overstimulated opening up like Canvas or opening up like a textbook or something like that. Like, or I'm reading something and I don't even know what I'm reading at this point. So it's like, I just need to sit down, breathe, get some tea, put on a little bit of Netflix, and, just relax. And then I can get back to it. But
Yeah.
I just don't believe that you should be wound up all the time. I don't think you
Hmm.
can think clearly when you are in constant go mode.
Right.
But
I agree with that for sure. That's how the burnout happened in the first place. You're in go mode and you weren't paying attention to your signs and symptoms. So definitely got to pay attention to your body. When your body's telling you to rest, make sure you rest. You got a headache, pay attention. It could be several things, but that could be a rabbit hole for us. Uh, so yes, just pay attention to yourself, pretty much. Especially when you're going through higher stressful, uh, more stressful times in your life for sure. Just pay attention to yourself. That's what I would say.
It's interesting that, again, we're an accelerated program. So our weeks are jam packed, just like any other program. But of course, like we are being exposed to so much in a smaller amount of time. It's very important that we stay organized. And a way that we can kind of alleviate stress, like you were saying, is making sure that we schedule in like our rest days, if we have that ability to do so throughout the week.
Right.
So when you have to give some type of advice to the people listening when it comes to just scheduling things. How do you keep things as a priority? What type of schedule would you, as a new student going into an accelerated program,
Uh-huh.
if you have to give them a generic type of schedule that they can
Yeah.
fix to, how would you set it up?
Uh, this is a generic schedule. I would say start by planning ahead for sure. They give you a schedule for a reason, like what courses you're going to take and things of that nature. So I would go ahead and make that schedule, put those days on the calendar. I would start going ahead and looking at material. You don't have to take a deep dive, but definitely get a good understanding. And then from there, I would probably schedule out hours throughout the day when I can look at the material. So say you have a class at 11 and 2 like we do, I would make sure I look at the material beforehand, at least both of them, before both classes, and then after as well, schedule out some time to review it, what you just talked about, and look at the sync session. That way you can get like 3 doses in one day. You're looking at it before classes, you get in class, and then also you schedule out time after class to look at the material. So that's what I would say do, just so you can make sure you're really getting a good understanding of the material. You can also reach out to the professors on anything that you're confused about or any muddy points is what they call it. So I would definitely look at all of that and incorporate that into my schedule.
The key was you got the hot tips. We also call that
Yeah,
money points and hot tips.
I try, man. Yeah, just doing what I can. What would you recommend?
um, I know it. Like people probably would hate for me to say it, but you have got to get ahead and stay ahead.
Yeah,
You shouldn't necessarily be working on that week's content during that actual week. Like let's just say a Monday through Friday, you should probably be at the tail end of that whole entire week's content, just being exposed to it by the beginning of the week. So that way you can kind of just set the scene so you can understand and absorb the information instead of trying to be exposed to something brand new, and then then have to go through um, trying to learn that information. I, I, that has helped me out so much.
Yeah,
Just trying to get ahead and stay ahead.
I agree.
Um, it's not fun, but it pays off.
That's right. That's right. Very, very rewarding at the end when you pass those tests. So, yeah.
um, I do have kind of like an off the script question because I'm just very excited. We really did just order our white coats, so this is a this is a huge deal.
For
We're
sure.
ready to get our nice coats. I might even have a little photo shoot. I don't know about you, Taquitos. I don't know about
Yeah,
you, but I might do my big one.
I'm definitely doing a shoot. You better know it.
How we talked about it, the last episode, but I just what are you expecting in that moment? Um, what when you actually received your white coat during the ceremony? Like how what is I'm
Yeah,
just so excited. Like,
yeah.
but what feelings would you think that will um, come about in that moment?
Man, that's a really good question. I think my mom asked me this like last week actually. I think when I finally put it on, I think I feel accomplished, you know. Feel like I accomplished not the whole degree, but I definitely feel like I've taken a huge leap towards that milestone, and it'll be just a very humbling and a grateful feeling. So I'll express a lot of my gratitude for the journey that it's been, honestly. So, and a lot having my family there to witness that, and guys like you, my brothers. So it'll be just a very uplifting feeling, like, and yeah, I can't wait to experience it. I hope y'all can kind of see like what I'm feeling like. I don't know. I'm envisioning myself just walking across. Uh, in so many words, it'll be my biggest accomplishment in my life. So one of my dreams that I've had for many years. So that's about the best I can describe it right now. Thinking about it. What about you? How do you think that you're gonna feel once you finally cross the stage and put that jacket on? White coat, excuse me.
I feel like the man. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, I feel
yeah,
like the man.
yeah,
I I truly, as a child, I always wanted to be in a position to help people. That's
yeah,
always been my goal in life. That's always been my passion. But I didn't come from a background of individuals who were doctors, who were lawyers.
yeah,
I didn't really get to see and have that type of influence. So, correct me if I'm wrong, you would also be the first doctor in your family. Um,
yes, yes. That I'm
that
aware of. That's what I was saying. I don't know anybody else.
I think it's such an honor, to be that for our immediate family and be that resource and just be able to just elevate in that way. And for those who are listening, just if you don't have an example of people that you are trying to aspire to be, just know that there are people out there in the world that you can always reach out to that
Yeah,
are doing their best in order to climb the ladder to show you that everything that you dream of is completely possible. So, um,
yeah, that's
during
real.
all the trials and tribulations, the white coat is, you know, just one step because we still have to graduate, but it will be an accomplishment that will sound for generations to come. I absolutely believe that. So I'm going to be elated. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I I don't know. I probably won't be that DPT who wears this white coat when he's helping people because that we move so frequently. So it's like
Right.
having the white coat. but I'm definitely gonna be wearing it. So I will
Right.
find a place to wear it.
Definitely. And then they have a national African American PT, like a APTA meeting, right? Like
Yeah.
it was in a, what was that, Atlanta? Where was that that our classmate had mentioned
Yes.
to us?
I think it was it in Houston? I think it
We
was in
definitely, yeah, we definitely gonna have to get the details on
it's
that. But I was so upset about
yeah.
missing that because I wanted to go and I just wanted to be around, like see what all they had to offer, like really, because they talk about how informative those meetings are and things that of that nature. So yeah,
You always hear me say to keep a shout out to the three, shout out to the four percenters out
right,
there. We
yeah,
see y'all, we love y'all.
facts. That's right. Yeah,
But do you have any like other questions? Only got one more question from the audience.
yeah, I can ask another question. Give me one second here. Let's see, another good question. Hmm, where should I start with weighing the pros and cons of as a PT career? Are there questions or pros and cons, like a list you made before you start pursuing PT?
Mm,
Um, I would say where you should start is uh, make the decision, is this something that you really want to do? And I would say make sure you go shadow a PT or go to a clinic and see exactly what they're doing. That way you can, before you even take a step into the field, you need to see what you're going to be doing, and understand that there are different settings that you can go to as well. So if you go to outpatient clinic, don't just lock in on that. You can also go to many different. You can go to inpatient, hospital setting. You can go to all different kinds. So just get a full understanding of what the career holds. So that way you can weigh out the pros and cons of what setting you want to be in, and also you don't have to stay where you are either. You can also be a travel PT. You can be a PRN PT. You don't have to work for any company. You can just work for multiple if you just want to you like going to different facilities. So there's a wide variety of things that you can do just to start weighing out the pros and cons. Was there a pros and cons list for myself? I would say yes. That was when I was weighing out whether I wanted to do PA or PT and like nursing or PT. And I kind of went into that earlier when we were talking about the flexibility of being a DPT is I feel like it's much more rewarding to be in this field than versus the other one. But you know, I say just weigh out your options. What are your needs? What are your wants? And what does your future look like for yourself before you make a decision like that? That way you can have a good idea where you're gonna go, and it'll really help you out. What about you, Aaron?
yeah. I mean, I completely agree with you. You definitely need to know if this career it is a fit for you. So definitely go interview the DPTs in different settings. Like get a wide lens of just what the career can possibly bring you and understand, hey, finances, that's very important. So just make sure that you understand the financial responsibility of going into school and then also understand how you can utilize the career field in order to make those financial goals as well. Because there's plenty of opportunity, but it does take a little bit of grind to get to where you need to be or where you want to be. So there,
Right.
yeah, that I think those were probably the biggest. For me personally, I was just in a position where I could have pursued my dreams. So there was no cons at that moment when I applied to graduate school. The only I, the only cons I guess I would say is that I'm back in school. So, like,
Man, I thought I was done. I was like, it, it's okay though. We 1 year out. We a little over a year. So, man.
don't y'all be afraid of accelerated programs, but
Yeah,
I will say it ain't for the weak. So make sure that you are dedicated. Make sure that you are like ready to start day one. And shout out to our new class underneath us as
yeah,
well that will be starting soon. So we're
yep,
rooting for y'all.
we sure are. Y'all got this.
But again, just make sure if you have any questions for us, shoot us a message, shoot the Kivas a message, or you can shoot me a message via
Yep.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We're on all three of those platforms. Is there anything else for us today, Kivas?
All good. Y'all continue to keep sending us questions, like you said, and we'll do our best to answer as many as we can and give y'all the feedback that you guys are looking for. Hopefully, today's episode did help y'all with something. And if you have any questions with any phrases or anything like that we use, please don't hesitate to ask us the questions. We're more than willing to answer the questions as soon as we possibly can, honestly. So, y'all just don't be afraid to hit us up. We open and we're here for y'all. So y'all do that, please. So that's it.
Perfect. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll catch y'all next time.